Hello. I had a note from one of the artists saying that they're having difficulties because we weren't reading the portions aloud like we do in class, and they were having some troubles with that. So what I want to do is I want to go through the reading, and then I'll show you how to turn in the assignment properly because some people are still having some trouble with that. So the first thing we do is we can either do it from here or we can go to classwork. Either one will have it. All right. So this is due today, the New Deal Part 1. We don't really need to worry about that right now. Okay, so New Deal Part 1. And then, so now we go into the assignment itself. And it says, okay, Great Depression, First New Deal. All right, so then, I'm sorry for all the ads. I'm sure you're getting them too. That's the only, the site's free, so that's how they make their money. The Great Depression, the First New Deal. The history of the Great Depression. The New Deal refers to a number of U.S. government programs put into law to help the country recover from the Great Depression. The New Deal programs that were passed during the first 2 years that Franklin D. Roosevelt was president are sometimes called the First New Deal. You can go here to read about the Second New Deal. Well, that's tomorrow's assignment. First 100 days, or the day after tomorrow. When President Roosevelt first came into office, he wanted to get things started quickly. And during the first 100 days that he was president, he issued several executive orders and helped get many laws passed through Congress. There's something this doesn't go into, but this had so much impact on the American society that anytime you get a new president, you may, if you pay any attention to the news, they'll compare what did he get done in his first 100 days, and they always compare it to FDR because he accomplished a huge amount during those first 100 days. He actually strengthened the presidency a great deal during that time by those actions. Banking reform. One of the first things that President Roosevelt did was to close the banks in what he called the bank holiday. Congress then passed a law called the Emergency Banking Act. This law allowed for banks to reopen under the supervision of the Federal Treasury. It helped to stabilize the banks and to bring back confidence in the banking system. So if you recall, one of the problems with the crash was people were afraid their money was going to be gone, so they had what was called a run on the bank. And the banks don't keep your money just sitting there gathering dust. They use it to invest. So when so many people are asking for their money back, they didn't have it all. It caused even more panic and trouble. So that's why you closed the banks. Okay? Stock market. The Securities Act of 1933 was passed to help to prevent another stock market crash. It required publicly traded companies to provide accurate information to the public, including profits, losses, and corporate officers of the company. Repealing prohibition. President Roosevelt put in a measure that would repeal prohibition until the 21st Amendment was ratified. This was popular among the people and allowed for new tax revenue due to legal alcohol sales. So he passed. They were trying to repeal it through the 21st Amendment, but that's a very time-consuming task. So all the states have to vote on it. So he passed an executive order to repeal it so they could immediately start the production of alcohol and the taxing of alcohol. Big, lots of tax revenue coming that the government would be getting, and a fringe benefit would be that organized crime wouldn't be getting that money anymore. Okay, public works. The president began a large program for public works and created the Public Works Administration, the PWA. This program built things like roads, bridges, schools, hospitals, and dams across the country. These programs provided jobs for many. The Civilian Conservation Corps, the CCC, also created many jobs for men where they worked on environmental projects like national parks. Farm programs. To help farmers out, the Agricultural Adjustment Administration, the AAA, was put into place. It helped to improve farming practices, reduce farm production to raise prices, and gave a voice to farmers in the government. Housing. In order to get the housing industry going again, two new agencies were formed, the Homeowners Loan Corporation, the HOLC, and the Federal Housing Administration, FHA, and the HOLC was formed to help finance mortgages and to help keep people in their homes. The FHA put government standards on the construction of homes to make sure that homes were safe. It also helped to insure mortgages and stabilize the home mortgage market. The FHA is still part of the mortgage market today. The Federal Emergency Relief Administration provided help for unemployment. It built soup kitchens to feed people, provided blankets to the homeless, lunches for schools, and educated people on how to find a job. Okay, so the government got very, very involved in the everyday actions of people's lives. This was something new. We see a remnant of it. We're seeing more of it now, actually, with the coronavirus incidents and how much government's being involved in our lives again. But this was unheard of. This was a brand new thing that was happening here. What's going on today is a reflection of what happened during the Great Depression and with FDR. So it's kind of interesting to be reading about this right now, in that very similar actions are being taken where the government has just reached in and decided to take control of certain things to ensure the public's safety and public health. Things like closing down unnecessary businesses, social distancing rules, no gatherings of more than X amount of people. Okay, these are all things to try and help keep people safe, but it's also, if you had heard the government pass a law saying no more than 10 people can gather together at the same time 3 months ago, you would have said, what the heck's going on here? Okay, so it's all in relationship to what's going on at the time. And for the Great Depression, it empowered the federal government incredibly, because people wanted Roosevelt. They wanted someone to solve the problems. So they gave him all this power. Okay, let's read these little things, and then we'll take the quiz. 15 major new laws were passed during Roosevelt's first 100 days in office. The New Deal is sometimes referred to as alphabet soup because it started many new government agencies that went by letters. Some examples are the AAA, the Agricultural Adjustment Administration, the FHA, Federal Housing Administration. The two more important to remember, although that they don't list them there, I don't know why, are the PWA, the Public Works Administration, and the CCC, the Civilian Conservation Corps. Both of those programs put thousands upon thousands of young men to work, and were very, very important because they lived almost like they were in the Army. They lived in barracks and things like that, and the money, most of it was sent back to their parents. So they got money back into the local economies, as well as all this construction that they were doing. When we get back, if we get back, or if I can find a way to attach it, I have a really good DVD on the CCC, but we'll see if I can make that work or not. I may not be able to. The National Industrial Recovery Act protected the rights of workers to form unions and to strike. The Tennessee Valley Authority Act, the TVA, built dams along the Tennessee River, providing jobs, controlling flooding, and providing cheap electrical power to the people of Tennessee. That's still happening today. All right, well, let's see about this quiz. Okay, what was the New Deal? A recovery program for Europe after World War II, a new U.S. Constitution, a number of laws and government agencies. Sorry about that. A new political party, a new way to finance homes. Well, I'd say out of those choices, there'd be a number of laws and government agencies. Who was the president during the New Deal? Franklin Roosevelt, John F. Kennedy, George Bush, Dwight Eisenhower, Herbert Hoover. Well, that's a pretty obvious one. Franklin Roosevelt. Okay. What was it called when the government closed the banks? Market crash, no cash day, financial boom, bank holiday, or none of the above? Well, they named it something that would make people happy. So they gave them a holiday. It was a bank holiday. They closed the banks to go over the books, make sure they were all solvent, and then as soon as the books had been gone over, they'd allow them to reopen. But it wasn't that we're closing the banks, we're giving them a holiday, so it's a good thing. What act was passed to try and prevent another stock market crash? Well, you have the Stamp Act, Securities Act, Fair Labor Standards Act, Banking Act, Social Security Act. Securities is what the stock market deals in, so I'm going to guess that one. All right. Which of the following did the Federal Emergency Relief Administration provide? Mortgage insurance, improve farming practice, soup kitchens to feed people, retirement for the elderly, standards on home safety. Federal Emergency Relief Administration. Do you know what? To be honest, I forget. So I'm not going to. You can click back and go to the page and then come back here, but I'm just going to take a guess. I think Relief Administration implies we're getting food to people. So soup kitchens. How many new laws were passed during the first 100 days of that president's Roosevelt in office? I think it was 15. If memory serves. Which of the following is a nickname for the New Deal given this article? Okay. It was the alphabet soup. You had all the acronyms for the programs, the PBA, the WPA, the CCC, the FHA, SSA, all these lettered acronyms for the different programs. What New Deal program created jobs, constructed new bridges, roads, and schools? Okay, well, that would be the Public Works Administration, the PWA. The town I grew up in had sidewalks everywhere from a half-mile radius from the center of town because of the PWA put in the sidewalks. That's what they did. All right. What could be sold legally once Prohibition was repealed? Well, what was prohibited by Prohibition? Alcohol. So it would probably be alcohol. You can always get candy and chocolate if you had the money. And what did the Agricultural Adjustment Administration do? Improve farming practices, reduce farm production, raised farm prices, give a voice to farmers in the government, or, yes, all of the above. All right, let's see. How do we do here? Click that. Imagine that. We got 100%. All right, so then now what you got to do is you go back to the assignment. Okay, and we go close down the link, and now we can click here on the Google Doc, and we're going to type a summary for the first New Deal. Okay, and I'm just going to keep it really short. The New Deal for first New Deal it'd be nice if I could type, wouldn't it? I'm really not doing well in typing today, am I? The New Deal, or First New Deal, was a series of programs run by the federal government to help people and businesses recover from the effects of the Great Depression. I hate touchpads. Some examples would be the PWA, or the Public Works Administration. That's spelled wrong, but we'll just let spell check take care of that for us. Come on. Or the one I mentioned was the TVA, Tennessee. I'm just going to abbreviate, take Tennessee Valley Authority. Again, that's not spelled right either. Typo there. Valley, yeah, okay, and authority, close enough to get the spell check. Okay. These programs put people to work, help to provide food and shelter to those who had neither. And that's good enough. All right, so then up here we see we can turn it in or we can share it. I want you to turn it in. So you're going to click the Turn In button. And it says, one attachment submitted for the New Deal Part 1, turn in. And it'll put your name here. The name I've logged in under so I can get a student view is Charter Tech Artist. Okay, so, but this will be your name on that document. And you just click Turn In, and there you go. All right, I hope this was helpful for people. Some of you really need to get on the stick. Please, well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go back and look at Mrs. Kaplan's message together here for a second. All right, because it's important. All right, so back up to the class page, and here we are from Ms. Kaplan. Dear artists, as the end of the marking period rapidly approaches, April 1st, please take a moment to review your grades in Genesis to see if you owe your teachers any work. If an assignment is marked as missing, this simply means your teacher has not received it as of yet. They are still willing to give you full credit for the assignment, but it is essential that you get the assignments to them. Once the assignment is turned in, the grade will be updated and will go up. If you are having any issues that are preventing you from getting your work done, it's very important that you communicate that both to the administration and to your teachers so we can do our best to help you. Okay, we've had some people that were having trouble getting internet access. We had some people who only had their phones and they were finding it nearly impossible to do all the work on the phones, so we got them Chromebooks. If you're having trouble, let me or let the school know. Okay, that's important. April 1st is coming up quickly. I put in all the things as missing that I don't have yet, and it brought most people to F's because zeros, which is what a missing does, are killers. So please make sure you get the work you owe turned into me. There's also, for example, I didn't get the test from chapter 24 from a lot of people. You need to take this, okay? It's important. All right, I will repost, I think I have it with me here, chapter 24. I will put those pages into the classroom. I think you have them in your email, but just in case, I'll put them in the classroom as soon as I'm done with this. So please, check what you owe me and get it done. Get it to me. All right? All right, hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're feeling all right. Have a good day. Bye-bye.